Welcome back to Haunted Stories. If you're ready to be enveloped in a world of spine-tingling enigmas and ghostly tales, you're in the right place. To ensure you never miss out on my daily content, make sure to subscribe and give that like button a satisfying thump. So, gather round, dim those lights, and prepare yourself for the shivers that await in today's narrative. Without any more delay, let's dive headfirst into our bone-chilling video. First story, The Whispering Shadows. The Grand Orion Hotel was renowned for its luxury and elegance. For decades, its grandeur had attracted travelers from all walks of life. Located in the bustling heart of the city, it had an air of sophistication that lingered in the minds of those fortunate enough to stay within its walls. John, a weary businessman, checked into the hotel one evening after a long day of meetings. His room, adorned with opulent furnishings and tasteful decor, seemed like a haven of comfort. As the city lights cast a warm glow through the window, he settled in, ready to relax. Yet something felt off. As he prepared for bed, John couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every shadow seemed to hold a presence, every creak in the floor an echo of some hidden secret. He brushed it off as mere tiredness, turning off the lights and sinking into the plush mattress. Minutes turned to hours as John lay there, his mind plagued by a subtle unease. Suddenly he heard it, a faint, whispered conversation. His heart raced as he strained to listen, his senses heightened. The words were indiscernible, like the soft rustle of leaves on a quiet evening. The whispers seemed to come from the corners of the room, as if the very walls held secrets. John's curiosity was piqued, and he reluctantly rose from the bed. He searched the room, checking the closets, behind the curtains, and even under the bed. But there was no one there. Back in bed, he dismissed it as a figment of his imagination. Just as he was about to drift off, the whispers returned. This time, they were accompanied by the sensation of a breath against his ear, as if someone were standing inches away, uttering incomprehensible words. Panic surged through him, and he flicked on the lights. The room stood empty, its silence a stark contrast to the eerie whispers that had filled the air moments ago. With a sense of trepidation, John turned off the lights again, unable to shake the feeling that he was not alone. The whispers resumed, their cadence growing more urgent. A thought struck him. He took out his phone and began recording the haunting sounds. The whispers, barely audible to the human ear, were captured by the device's sensitive microphone. This eerie evidence left him feeling both validated and unnerved. The following morning, John reported the incident to the hotel staff, who listened attentively but appeared skeptical. They assured him that no other guests had complained of such experiences. John requested a room change, and the staff complied, attributing his ordeal to exhaustion and stress. In his new room, John slept restlessly, fearing that the whispers would return. But they never did. The experience remained a haunting memory, a story he would tell in hushed tones to close friends, never truly finding a rational explanation for the unexplained voices that had invaded his sleep that night. The Grand Orion Hotel, with its elegant charm and luxurious allure, continued to welcome guests from around the world. Beneath its facade of opulence, however, lingered a sense of the unknown, an invisible tapestry woven with whispers that defied explanation, leaving visitors to wonder if the walls themselves held secrets untold. Second story, The Vanishing Keycard. Nestled on a remote stretch of coastline, the Moonlit Cove Hotel was a picturesque getaway known for its stunning views and tranquil atmosphere. Mark, a solo traveler seeking solitude, arrived at the hotel just as an impending storm cast a veil of darkness over the land. Unfazed, he checked into his room on the top floor, eager to unwind. The room, adorned with rustic charm, felt inviting. Large windows offered panoramic views of the churning sea below. As the storm unleashed its fury outside, Mark decided to make himself comfortable, settling into a plush armchair with a book in hand. Hours passed in quiet contentment, the sound of rain against the windows a soothing backdrop. But as the clock neared midnight, Mark decided it was time to retire for the night. He reached into his pocket for the keycard to his room, only to find it missing. Perplexed, he scoured the room, retracing his steps in search of the small plastic card. He checked his pockets, the nightstand, and even the bathroom, but the keycard had vanished without a trace. Annoyed but undeterred, he called the front desk for assistance. The hotel staff seemed accommodating, promising to send someone with a spare keycard. As Mark waited, he peered out the window, watching the storm's intensity increase. The minutes stretched into an hour, and there was no sign of the staff member with the replacement keycard. Growing impatient, Mark decided to leave his room and head downstairs to inquire about the delay. However, as he reached for the doorknob, he found it wouldn't budge. Panic gripped him as he realized the door was locked from the outside. He tried the windows, but they were sealed shut, resistant against the raging wind. His heart racing, Mark phoned the front desk, explaining his predicament. The voice on the other end seemed bewildered, insisting that they hadn't dispatched anyone to his room. As Mark's frustration mounted, he demanded an immediate solution. The hotel staff promised to send a security team to his location. Time ticked away, each second laden with tension. The storm outside showed no signs of abating, and Mark's anxiety grew as he contemplated the eerie possibility that he was trapped in the room by forces unknown. The minutes stretched into hours, and the security team remained conspicuously absent. In the suffocating darkness, Mark's mind raced with thoughts of the keycard, the missing staff member, and the storm that seemed to mirror his own internal turmoil. The walls felt as if they were closing in, and the isolation weighed heavily on his spirit. As the first light of dawn began to seep through the curtains, Mark heard a faint knock on the door. The security team had arrived, equipped with tools to force the door open. Their expressions mirrored Mark's own bewilderment as they found no trace of a keycard, no evidence of tampering, and no rational explanation for his night of captivity. With the door finally open, Mark stepped out into the hallway, his eyes squinting against the pale light. He left behind the room that had become his prison, forever haunted by the vanishing keycard, the storm that echoed his turmoil, and the unsettling feeling that the Moonlit Cove Hotel held secrets beyond its tranquil facade. Third story, The Unseen Observer. The Starlight Heights Hotel was a beacon of luxury and sophistication, nestled at the heart of the city. Its marble-floored lobby, adorned with chandeliers that sparkled like constellations, welcomed guests with an air of elegance. Among those guests was Isabella Turner, a renowned actress seeking a respite from the demands of fame. Isabella's suite, located on the top floor, was an opulent haven with a panoramic view of the cityscape. It was her retreat, a sanctuary where she could escape the prying eyes of the paparazzi. However, as the days wore on, an insidious feeling began to take root within her, the sensation of being watched. At first, it was subtle, a flicker of movement at the corner of her eye, a slight rustle of curtains, a whisper in the hallway outside her door. Isabella brushed it off, attributing it to her overactive imagination. Yet, the feeling persisted, growing stronger with each passing day. As she lounged in her suite, Isabella couldn't shake the sensation that unseen eyes were fixated on her every move. She began to close the curtains, locking out the view of the city she had once admired. Her gaze darted nervously around the room, as if expecting to find a hidden camera or an intruder lurking in the shadows. Sleep became elusive, as the darkness of night seemed to amplify her fears. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant sound in the hallway, sent shivers down her spine. She convinced herself that she could hear hushed conversations just beyond the walls, conversations that seemed to revolve around her. Desperation took hold as Isabella's paranoia escalated. She called the hotel security, explaining her suspicions and requesting a thorough sweep of her suite. The security team obliged, but their search yielded no evidence of surveillance devices or unauthorized access. Isabella's sense of isolation deepened as she began to doubt her own sanity. Days turned into weeks, and Isabella's once glamorous life began to unravel. She canceled public appearances, interviews, and social gatherings, retreating further into the confines of her suite. Her once lustrous career was overshadowed by the constant fear that someone, or something, was watching her every move. Her relationships suffered as well. Friends and colleagues grew concerned about her increasingly erratic behavior and her refusal to leave the hotel. They attempted interventions, but Isabella's conviction that she was under constant surveillance made her resistant to their efforts. She had become a prisoner of her own mind. As the weeks stretched into months, Isabella's mental state deteriorated further. Sleep deprivation and isolation had taken their toll, leaving her fragile and on the brink of a breakdown. She confided in a therapist, seeking relief from the torment that had consumed her life. With the therapist's guidance, Isabella confronted her fears, delving into the underlying anxieties that had fueled her paranoia. Together, they explored the possibility that her fame had bred a sense of vulnerability, an idea that had taken root and spiraled out of control. Slowly, Isabella began to accept that her fears might not be grounded in reality. The turning point came when Isabella, with newfound determination, stepped outside her suite for the first time in months. The lobby of the Starlight Heights Hotel, once an intimidating expanse, now felt inviting. The chandeliers twinkled overhead, casting a warm light that dispelled the shadows of her mind. With therapy and time, Isabella's sense of being watched gradually faded. She returned to her career, rebuilding her relationships and learning to navigate the demands of fame with resilience. The Starlight Heights Hotel, once a symbol of her isolation, became a reminder of her journey toward recovery. And while the luxurious establishment retained its air of elegance and allure, it was also a testament to the complex interplay between perception and reality, a reminder that even in the most luxurious of settings, the human mind could weave intricate tales of fear and uncertainty, blurring the line between truth and illusion. Thank you for joining us for the whole video. If you've enjoyed this eerie journey, show your support by hitting the subscribe button and giving that like button a hearty smash. It's your way of ensuring I keep bringing you free, thrilling content. Did this tale send chills down your spine? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned for more spine-tingling narratives. Until next video.